Hey everybody, Zill Brothers here once again with another video. This one in response to the aftermath of the Kyle Rittenhouse case. And I was talking with Jack a little bit about this video. And the thing that me and him were talking about is what caused the lack of rioting in Kenosha. And that's a question that I've been asking myself a lot. And we've come to this conclusion together that one of the incentives that the left is trying to push is that they don't want people to defend their own property. In other words, they want to destroy without consequence. And one of the problems with the Rittenhouse verdict is that it empowers people to defend their own property, and the left will say that it encourages vigilantism. And let's just talk a little bit about that. What is vigilantism? Vigilantism is the ability to take the law in your own hands. Now, there was a time in this country where vigilantism was not seen as a negative thing. Oftentimes, if somebody stole somebody else's purse, you would go and tackle that person and you will be considered to be a hero. Nowadays, people don't like that. And it all kind of stems from back in the day, a young man that I used to know, he got tackled after he was stealing something, and people squished him a little bit, and he ended up dying because they captured him after he committed a crime, and they didn't know that he couldn't breathe very well, and he eventually ended up dying of his injuries. And a lot of people, even in our own congregation, our own community, they don't like my viewpoint on this point, but this is this. If you commit a crime, you should accept the fact that people will defend their property. And if you can't accept that fact, you ought not do that crime. And vice versa. When people defend their property with a lot of force, that creates a disincentive to commit crimes. That is simply fact, right? And so the reason that I believe that a lot of people are not rioting so much, well, one of the reasons is because white people kill white people. So it's hard to create a racial incentive with that. But another reason is that you're not going to go into Kenosha thinking you're going to charge somebody with an AR-15 and thinking that they can't kill you. And that's a good thing. And I know a lot of people don't like the fact that that's a good thing, but it is a good thing. It's a good thing that people realize that if they do some violence, they should hesitate a little bit. And what the problem that I have with a lot of good men is that you don't put hesitation in people. You don't put the thought of what would he do if I did this in people's minds. I got this mindset that I wish you would. I wish you would say something to my wife when I'm with her. I wish you would step across that line. I wish you would try to break into my house. I will destroy you. And that mentality that I have checks people because they know that they don't know what I'm going to do. They have doubt about what my response is. And the problem with a lot of you good guys is they do know what you're going to do. Nothing. They know you're going to show mercy. They know you're going to show grace. They know you're going to give a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth chance to somebody who really don't deserve it. And so they don't feel that there's ever going to be any consequence. So the reason why they run all over you is because you let them. Here's another thing that I will say. We train people how to treat us. That's as a society and that's as individuals. So when you let people run over you, you can expect them to keep running over you because you've made it okay. On the other hand, when you check somebody and you say, no, you step past that line, here's the line, and you enforce it, then they know I can't go through that line or he will check me. I have now trained that person to treat me in such a way that they will at least understand where my line is. They may still want to cross that line, but they will know and they will be trained that there is a cost for crossing that line. As men, we have to have that in every relationship we have. That should be with our wives. That should be with our kids. That should be with our mothers. That should be with our fathers, mothers-in-law, fathers-in-law. Doesn't matter who. Men need to have lines. And what the Kyle Rittenhouse case, the problem that the left has with it is that we have now established a line. And that line is, you attack me, I can kill you. And people don't like that. Now, in saying that, some people are going to be mad and say, well, you know, Brian, it seems like you're supporting vigilantism or people taking the law in their own hands. Well, to some degree I do. And the reason that I do is because I think the law is inept. But beyond that, The reason that I do is because when you, as a good person, show strength, evil people show weakness. And that's just a consequence of you being strong. Good people should be stronger. That's why I support good people owning guns, good responsible people owning guns. That's why I support good, honorable people learning how to fight. That's why I support people not taking crap from hood people, from ghetto people, from bad people, from leftists. And the problem when you look at this Kyle Rittenhouse case, one of the things that kind of unlocked this case for me was looking at the criminal background of all the people that Kyle Rittenhouse shot. And I am not saying in any way that he's a hero. But what I'm saying is when you look at this crowd was largely composed of criminals. And the reason I can say that is because he shot 3 people. All 3 people got criminal histories. What are the odds of that? Well, the odds are pretty good. Why? Because people are drawn to destroy because they are destructive people. And destructive people tend to be criminals. And what we have done in our society is we have tried to incentivize. In other words, we have tried to create a situation where people can riot and destroy and they face no consequence. And when people know that they can do what they want with no consequence, they're going to keep doing it. And that's why Portland is such a terrible city right now. That's why it's so bad in New York right now, because they know they can commit a crime and get right back out. So, good men, stand up and fight. Good men, get your weapons, because you create the incentive for people to behave.